we are here with David Lopez, who is the CEO of AGS. And David, before we talk about what's all the big, heavy, important issues of the day, the most important question is, what is that darn guitar on your lapel?
That's we can get you one of these. I have extras. So that's our booth theme this year. You know, Julia has always got something creative. So this year it's a guitar, rock and roll. I thought it was just 70s, but she said we can go anywhere up to the year 2000. So you get to go all the way to the grunge years. So we're set. 60s to 90s.
So you are like rocking out this year.
Yeah. Stop by the booth, as I said, on Thursday. There's lots of surprises that day, I'm sure.
Well, good. I'll be glad to be there. My cousin Julia will be there too.
She'll be around. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, great. Just give us a little recap on where AGS is and what you see in the near future.
So I think the best way to look at it is there's a transformation going on. If we go back to my first interview with you, probably here, and I'm talking about first year at AGS, right. I don't know if I was invited, it might have been too small, right? But it was early days, and we really only had, slot route in Oklahoma, with, working through the Blueberry product. We had very few other units out there in Class 3, and then we went on, the acquisition path. And so that got us to like that 2018, 2019 period where we had hyper growth. Probably outgrew ourselves a little bit. We grew so fast. We've now beefed up our R&D teams. We have studios numbering about 7 versus back then active studios maybe 1. All 7 studios for the first time are truly pumping out games, so we're in great shape there. But we're also entering, as we call it, new swim lanes. We're getting into more categories within, the slot business or EGMs. So typically, we're usually selling a portrait, or we're selling maybe a portrait and a curve, much like our Spectra 43 and Spectra 49. But we're going to also have, in 2024, we'll introduce a jumbo cabinet. Not here at the show because it's not in the first quarter, so we don't show it. Also, won't be shown at the show because it's not in the first quarter, is our mech reel game. First mech reel product for us ever. We have a great team there designing the cabinet, great team designing games. So we're in more swim lanes than we've ever been before, but you take those 4 cabinets, you can change merchandising on a couple of them, and it's more like we have about six configurations or even 7 configurations. So we're really happy where we're at. If you look at Eilers, if you look at our financials, you look at, we're cash flowing, we're doing a lot of the right things, and I think it's really truly just starting right here, this G2E 2023.
You've talked just now about filling out your product line, more R&D, more studios, and so on. You also had, at that time, a lot of geographical white space to fill. How are you doing in that?
Doing great. I mean, we're everywhere we need to be now. Now we just know we need to sort of go a little bit broader with the product line and then, deeper into the accounts. I think our sales team does a great job with that. As a matter of fact, I think, I'm speaking of EGMs, but whether it's EGMs or tables and shufflers or interactive, we have tremendous teams across the board now. And, in tables, we got progressives that lead the market. We have a new shuffler. We're designing another shuffler for, future release. We haven't given the date yet. So we're trying to build out a portfolio there. But as far as white space goes, we're tapping into all of it, but because the portfolio is broadening, we can go wider in the casino across, sort of areas we didn't get to before. And then as the products get more successful, we can go deeper. And that goes as well even for real money gaming online. So got a great team there.
When you talk about product development in AGS, there's a tendency to talk about all of these new areas or small areas that you're building, and yet it's still that slot machine.
Oh yeah,
that's your business.
Yeah, slot machines, like EGMs are generating most of our revenue in EBITDA. But as I said, like many years ago when we were sort of not doing well in the beginning of our real money gaming acquisitions, it takes time to make these things grow. And if you look at our financials, you can see our progress over the years now. And I think that with the talent acquisition we've got and the brick and mortar content that's resonating online, I don't think it's high hopes. I think it's high realities. I think it's something that's a reality for us going forward, that this is going to be a significant chunk of our business getting out there in the latter years. But that's part of that strategy. You got to buy it or build it. We did a little bit of both, right? And now we're building teams and we're seeing success. We just had, on the Eilers report, we're ranked number one on something. I don't ever know precisely what it was, but in the real money gaming online category, we had a number one ranking for new products.
A couple of years ago, you had a little stumble on with the Oklahoma thing and so on. But you guys, over the last couple of years, have repeatedly outperformed expectations.
Yep.
You've grown the company very nicely by significant amounts every year. You beat expectations every year. The stock price hasn't recovered from that disappointment of a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about that?
So, you got to look at the whole market. Even you look at some of our competitors, right? Not all of them, some of them have expanded multiples, but there's definitely a dislocation between performance and the multiples in the small cap and micro cap space. I don't want to name names, but they're out there, and we know some of them are being treated the same way. But I think that I like to say I'm the critic, right? I should be the critic. I shouldn't have to wait for somebody else to be the critic of how we're performing. And you are correct. You made the good points. We've been outperforming for 13 or 14 quarters, right? But at the end of the day, we got to check more boxes. And we're now checking another box, which is free cash flow. And we're very committed to that. You'd say to the point we're obsessed with free cash flow and free cash flow conversion from EBITDA. And we find that that's going to be a metric that people will look at closely, along with leverage. And our leverage is coming down. We've flagged that it will be under 3.5 times by the end of the year. And clearly, we're not going to stop there. We're going to keep going. But we're now delevering two ways: increased EBITDA, and we're also generating free cash flow. So getting to it from both sides.
You're a growth company. You've got a dislocation between the value and the stock price. Mm-hmm. You're in an environment where there's an awful lot of little companies out there that are or will be available for acquisition at some point. AGS itself could be an acquisition candidate at some time. Yep. How does that affect your strategic thinking, and how does that affect your capital allocation?
So we'll probably treat it the way we always have. So table games and real money gaming online, et cetera, it's going to be more of tuck-ins. Could something more than a tuck-in happen? Of course, something greater than tuck-in could happen. In slots, I'm actually very comfortable where we're at. If we were to do something there, it might be by a little piece of technology, a little product or something, but not really a company, right? I think that on the slot side, I'm describing, we're in more swim lanes. We have an expanded portfolio. Our pre-G2Es were amazing. Our customers are looking at us very differently than they ever had before. And when we really hit stride there, we haven't even gone international yet. We're just right up and down Canada, US, Mexico, and a smidge of Latin America. So the opportunities for our slot business are huge. I'm a really big believer in online real money gaming. I know a bit about the shuffler and table game business, and we need to build out that shuffler portfolio if we really want to have a big impact. But as far as acquisitions go, we're going to watch our leverage closely. So if we do something, we'll probably be a little creative. Or as we've done in the past, we say, well, I don't want to buy a company for $100 million. Let's go just get great talent and acquire talent instead of companies at times, because we can get talent from outside the industry, inside the industry, get a little experience from both sides, and we see that it can bear serious fruit for us.
So if you looked out strategically, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, what will AGS look like?
I think if you go walk through the booth now, right? Which I don't know if you'll have time, because I know you got quite the schedule. But if you go walk through the booth today or sometime during this week, you can see like how much the company's changed, and you're only going to see what I would say is about half of what our EGM division is really showing. In our pre-G2Es, we showed double what we have up in that booth to our customers. And that would be because we didn't show, or we're not showing mech reel here, we're not showing jumbo. We showed them pictures and, you know, I think some videos. But if you go through the booth, you're going to see a different AGS from 2 or 3 years ago, and we're certainly going to see a different AGS from 2018 or 2019. We're going to be a more formidable competitor in this space because we have a bigger portfolio, and you can get out there into, you know, a larger part of the casino. In 3 years, you're going out 3 years, I think you're going to see a larger online business, considerably larger. I think that EGM business that has that nice broadened portfolio will begin to go international, and it's just a huge opportunity. We have a full studio to 3 studios actually down in Sydney, Australia, and we don't produce games for that market. Needless to say, we've got a team that knows the market and would be pleased, tickled pink, to do that, to attack that market. So I think you know, when we started, and probably in the first interview we did here at AGS, I said, you know, our goal was to be a multi-product global gaming supplier. And that global word is probably the transformation that you'll see next. I think the portfolios are expanded. I think that we've done what we said we would do, and now it's time, you know, going into the future to be more global. Yeah.
Right. So you recently added Missouri and Colorado, so I guess after that you go global.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna jump right out there. I mean, it's nice to have Missouri and Colorado. I mean, they're good jurisdictions to do business in, and we're gonna get in there and do our thing. And we'll probably get a little bit of a heavier share than usual in the beginning because you're the new company that's just getting licensed. But we're really pleased to have those, obviously. But I think there's huge opportunities, you know, in front of us. So.
You've mentioned your booth a couple of times now. What are 1 or 2 of the must-see products at the Rock Out Guitar booth this year?
You ask this every year, and I want to say all of them every year because I don't know how to pick a product. I mean, Spectra 43 is doing phenomenal business right now. So if you haven't seen Spectra 43 in the flesh, well, you could go to our booth, or you could just go upstairs into the Venetian Plaza and just go look for it right there because it's crushing it here at the casinos. But so Spectra 43 in every game. It's not one game. You know, all we can say Triple Coin Treasures because that's the one showing up on the report, right? But at the end of the day, they're all doing well in that Spectra 43, and then we have Spectra 49 Curve, just getting released right now. Great looking cabinets. But I always say great limited cabinets. Nobody cares if you don't have great games, and we've got great games. So it's sort of a simple equation on that front. Visit our table game guys. We got great products there, as I said, amazing progressives, doing some interesting things there going forward. And of course, interactive is hard to go see because it's interactive and it's online, but if you want to, go talk to our head of state there and she'll walk you through the business, you know?
Okay, great. That's a good overview, David. Anything else you would like folks to know about AGS?
No, hey man, I think that you said there's a dislocation between stock price and you know how we're performing. That's on the investor side. On the casino side, I love to say a lot, but they're all seeing us. You know, I think that we're no longer a small portfolio company. We're a larger portfolio company. We're still one of the little guys, right? We're still a micro cap. We still are, you know, smaller in the space. We're not one of the big 3. They're very big companies. But at the end of the day, I'd love to say, hey, give us a shot. But they're giving us a shot. They're giving us a shot, and we're performing, and that's all we can ask. So keep doing that. And other than that, how about those Niners?
How about those Eagles, undefeated Philadelphia Eagles?
We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon.
Look forward to it.
Good deal.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.